Hello to all students. I hope you are doing fine. Today we are going to discuss life cycle of angiosperm. As you know that angiosperm is a class of plants. All the plants which are present in our surrounding environment are mostly angiosperms, like mango, rose, grapes, and all other different plants which are, some of them are flowering and some of them are fruit plants are angiosperms. So first of all, the angiospermic plant is known as sporophyte. Sporophyte plant grows. When it becomes mature, it bears flowers. So first of all, I am going to explain you a little bit structure of flower. As you already know that the structure of a flower is a modified shoot of sporophyte. The first basic part of the flower is pedicel, with which it attaches to the plant. Just above the pedicel, there is a swollen portion of the pedicel which is known as thalamus. Thalamus bear all the floral parts on it. It has first part which is green in color. These are known as sepals and collectively they are known as calyx. The second whole of the plant flower is colorful, which you can see in the red. These are known as petals. Petals are collectively called corolla. Sepals and calyx usually protects the inner parts of the flower, while corolla helps to attract insects for pollination. Inside the flower there is a third hole which is known as stamens. These are male parts of the flower and also known as collectively also known as androecium. Andro mean male. While the fourth part and the central part of the flower is known as carpel or pistil. It has three portions. Number one, stigma, the swollen portion, terminal portion, style, and a swollen portion at the bottom which is known as ovary. Ovary, style and stigma are three parts. These are collectively called carpel or pistil and technically they are known as gynoecium. I did not label the diagram because you already know the different parts of a flower. The main focus of this lecture is on the life cycle of a flowering plant. So first of all, a sporophyte plant produces flowers which contain male and female parts, as you already know that. Now I am going to discuss these parts in detail. So first of all, I am going to explain female part of the flower. Female part of the flower is known as carpel. As you can see in this diagram, it has three major parts: upper swollen portion, terminal portion known as stigma, a long neck which is known as style, and a swollen basal portion which is known as ovary. Inside the ovary there is a structure which is known as ovule. I have taken this ovule outside. It has three main parts. The outermost covering of this ovule is known as integuments. Integuments are protective coverings for the germinating female gametophyte. Next to the integuments is a portion which is known as nucellus. Nucellus is a tissue made up of cells which works like a cushion to protect megaspore. While in the center there is a single cell which is diploid and it is known as megaspore mother cell. This is going to be formed and turn into female gametophyte. What happens? Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis. As you know that meiosis is a reduction division. It changes the chromosome number half and one cell divides into 4 cells. When megaspore mother cell divides, it produces 4 cells which are haploid and these cells are known as megaspore. I have made 1 cell larger and 3 cells smaller because 3 cells are going to generate. This is the rule of the nature, that only 1 megaspore will be functional while other 3 megaspore cells will degenerate. Now remaining 1 megaspore will undergo mitosis 3 times inside this ovule, inside this structure. When this megaspore cell divides by mitosis, it produces 2 nuclei. Now this has 2 nucleus. They undergo mitosis again and they produce 4 nuclei in a single membrane. Then these 4 nuclei undergo mitosis third time and produce 8 nuclei, as you can see in this diagram. 4 nuclei on upper side, 4 on the lower side. Now this whole structure is also known as embryo sac. 8 nuclei will divide into 7 cells. 3 cells are on the top, which are known as antipodals, which help in the fertilization, pollination and formation of seeds. 2 nucleus and a single cell are present in a single cell, which are known as polar nuclei, while 3 cells are at the bottom, in which one is the egg, which is haploid, and 2 cells besides nucleus beside egg are known as synergids. These cells also help in the fertilization process. So in this way, 8 nuclei inside the embryo sac has changed into 7 cells with 8 nuclei. All of them are haploid, forming a embryo sac inside an ovule. Now this structure, as we can call it, female gametophyte. So sporophyte generation produces gametophyte generation. So first of all, we have discussed formation of female gametophyte. Now I have summarized this whole process in a schematic way so that you can easily understand it. Number 1, sporophyte, which is usually a plant. As you can see, the body of the plant is sporophyte. Roots, stems and leaves and flowers are reproductive part. Flowers contain sporophylls, which are known as megasporophyll. Mega mean large or female, sporo mean spore producing, spore bearing, phyll mean leaves. Such leaves which bear spores. So in this case, gynecium, which contain ovary, ovule, it is known as megasporophyll, which has modified. Megasporophyll contain megasporangium. Megasporangium contain megaspore mother cell, as I already shown you here. Megaspore mother cell undergoes mitosis to produce what? Megaspores. These are megaspore, haploid. Megaspore germinate, undergoes mitosis 3 times, produces megagametophyte. 1, 2, 4, 8 and 7 cells inside embryo sac, known as megagametes, which is egg. This whole process is known as megagamete, megagametophyte. Now we are going to discuss female gametophyte or male part of the flower. Inside the flower there are male parts which are known as androecium, which consists of a filament and upper swollen portion known as anther. This is also a sporophyll. It is known as microsporophyll. Microsporophyll contain microspore mother cell. This is microspore mother cell, which is diploid. It undergoes meiosis 1, 2 and 4. Meiosis produces 4 haploid cells. Because of reduction division, these are microspores. All the microspore undergo mitosis again and they produce a cell. This whole one cell is known as microspore. I am going to take example of one microspore. One microspore undergoes mitosis. It produces 2 cells which are haploid. One cell is known as tube cell, while the other cell is known as generative nucleus. Tube cell does not divide further, while generative nucleus will divide by mitosis one more time. It will produce 2 cells. Now these 2 cells will change into gametes, sperms, while the tube nucleus will remain. This whole structure is known as pollen grain. This is also known as male gametophyte. Now I have summarized for you in the schematic way so you can understand it easily. Sporophyte plant. Sporophyte plant contain microsporophyll, which mean male. Remember that we always use mega for female and micro for male plants. Microsporophyll contain microsporangium. Microsporangium contain microspore mother cell, which is diploid, undergoes meiosis, produces microspore which are haploid. Microspore germinate into microgametophyte by mitosis, which is also known as pollen grain. It is also known as contain microgametes, which are sperm. So in this way, both of the gametes, microgametes and megagametes, are ready, which are also known as microgametophyte and megagametophyte. So the sporophytic generation has been converted into gametophytic generation. This is also known as alternation of generation. Now what happens after formation of millions of pollens inside the anther sacs? When they are mature, anther burst and millions of spores are released into air, water or with help of animal. They are transferred to the female part of the flower, which is also known as pollination. As you know that there are 2 types of pollination, in self-pollination and cross-pollination. It can take place with water, with air, or with other animals or some other factors. When a pollen grain, mature pollen grain, falls on the stigma of a carpel, this is known as pollination. The transfer of pollens from anther to the stigma of other flower or the same flower is known as pollination. When a pollen grain falls on the surface of the stigma, it has to reach to the egg, which is present all the way to the bottom of the carpel. How does it going to be reached there? Because there is no space, there is no way, there is no tube, there is nothing, because the nucellus tissue has covered all the way around to the egg. So for this purpose, the nature has created pollen tube nucleus. This tube nucleus will release certain enzyme which break down, dissolves, digest the tissue of the ovary to reach up to the egg. Now this pollen tube nucleus will dissolve the tissue, digest the tissue, and make a tube which is known as pollen tube. And just behind this pollen nucleus, these are sperms which are going to travel towards the egg. Now this tube elongates all the way down in the blue color, turns around and reaches to the egg and dissolves the tissue. And then after dissolving all this tissue, making a path, pollen tube nucleus degenerate. Its function has been finished. Now the two sperms which are traveling just behind the pollen tube nucleus are going to fertilize the egg. One sperm will fertilize the egg and form a zygote, which is going to form embryo and then converted into seeds, while a second sperm will fuse with the polar nuclei and form triploid 3N nucleus, which is going to form endospermic tissue. This process is known as double fertilization. It only takes place in angiosperms, and a very important phenomena, because after fertilization the second sperm ensures that the fertilization has taken place, zygote and embryo has been formed. Now we need food. The endospermic tissue will provide the food for the seeds we eat, like rice, like grams, like peanuts, like almonds, walnuts. All are contain food. This food is for germinating embryo, which is going to germinate into sporophyte. Just like an egg has a yolk, which has a stored food for the newborn chicken or newborn embryo for the which is present inside the egg. So the seeds is going to form, and the storage of the food takes place in the endosperm tissue. So this is the evolutionary process which has been taking place in the angiosperm. It is very important phenomenon. After fertilization, zygote has formed, which is diploid. Triploid endosperm has been formed after the formation of polar nuclei with sperm. This is triploid endosperm. Zygote will divide and convert into embryo, and while triploid endosperm will store the food inside the structure of ovule. Now at this stage, when food has been stored, embryo has been formed, this structure will be known as a seed. The integuments, which already I have discussed here, the integuments of the ovule will change into seed coat, which will protect the seed. Like if you open a peanut shell, the outer hard shell is known as testa, while when you open the testa, there are seeds inside, peanut seeds. The peanut seed also contain a thin covering which is red in color, that is known as tegumen. So these are two different types of seed coats which are produced by the integuments, and seed is completely formed. But some plants of angiosperm, they produce fruits like mango, like guava, like oranges, like lemons. So the ovary wall after formation of seed produces fruits. So the wall of ovary become fruit, wall of the ovule becomes seed coat, and inside the seed coat there is a food storage formed by endosperm tissue, triploid endosperm tissue, and the zygote or embryo is present inside seeds. Then this whole process of reproduction has been completed. After formation of seeds are dispersed by animals, by wind, by water to different places. When seed arrives at its meet is favorable condition, it start to germinate at certain point or whatever the condition. It again produces a new sporophyte plant. This sporophyte will grow, become mature, produces flowers. Flowers produces gametophyte, male gametophyte, female gametophyte. These gametophyte produces seeds, zygote, embryo, which is the gametophyte generation turns into again sporophyte generation. So alternation of generation also takes place in these plants. But unless like other plants of lower levels, the gametophytic generation in angiosperm has been reduced and it is very inconspicuous, while the sporophytic generation is very conspicuous and it is visible with our naked eye. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood all this cycle. So see you next lecture. Until then, bye.